All right, good afternoon, guys. How are we doing today? If I can just get a quick audio and video check, let me know that you can hear me and see my screen, that we're coming through loud and clear here for you. If you can just type it there in the questions box, that would be great, so that we can get started and move forward here. So I hope everybody's had a great trading week so far and trading day here. It's been another good week of some nice moves and volatility, some all-time highs and crazy news and earnings report kept the markets moving good for us here. So, okay, so everybody can see my screen here? All good to go? All right, well, welcome to the Nadex Application and Strategy webinar series. My name is John Skelton. I'm with apexinvesting.com, and today's webinar is brought to you by and hosted by Nadex. So we appreciate them having us on today here. And what we're going to talk about here, thank you, Robert, I appreciate that. What we're going to talk here today is a little bit different. You know, if you've been with us the last month or two, the last several weeks, we've kind of started back over with some of the basics. We went through, you know, the basics of binaries, the basics of spreads, and then we went into a little bit about the different types of binaries and spreads, how to use them properly, what are some different strategies you want to use them with. And I kind of want to interject here and do a little bit different webinar, and then moving forward, you know, we'll do some you know, some more strategy webinars, how to really put them into practice and different ways to trade them, you know, like we did last week with trading at important levels. But I think it's very important now that you kind of have an understanding of the basics and the foundation, you know, who and what is Nadex, what are the different products, how do the products work, how do I pick the right one for the right strategy. You've got a good foundation now, and I think it's time for us to stop for a second and step back and say, okay, like you know just enough to be dangerous, right? Like you understand how it works, you got a good idea of which one to choose, how to go implement a couple strategies. Well, let's stop for a minute and make sure you understand what are some of the top mistakes of new Nadex traders. That way you don't make those mistakes as you're getting started here on your Nadex trading journey. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. So let's get our disclosures knocked out. Trading futures options, any financial instrument involves risk, may not be suitable for every investor. Also, guys, if you see me today pull up the Nadex demo platform and enter a trade or show you how to enter a trade, that's in no way a recommendation. That's in no way trading advice. It's simply me trying to help you visualize what it is I'm trying to show you today, or, you know, visually help you, you know, understand how to utilize the Nadex platform and the ticket extension. But any trading decisions, your sole responsibility, and as always, past performance not indicative of future results. So, and as always, if you're brand new to Nadex, make sure to hop on over here to nadex.com. You can go through these tabs up here. Nadex basically offers two different types of products. They offer binary options and spread options. And you can go through these two tabs here, get some good overview and information on what those products are and how they work. Go up here to market news, get some good ideas about what's going on with the market, some stuff to look out for, might help you, you know, put together some potential trading plans. Learning Center right here, very important. I've got to give a lot of credit to Nadex. They do a lot for their members. They offer their members a lot of free tools, free education, free information. You've got all kind of videos and resources in here. But if you go right here to webinars, right over here to the left, you've got upcoming webinars. All right, this will show you what's coming up in the future, the date and time, the subject matter. You can get registered for it. Once you're registered, you'll get reminder emails for it. You know, really get you an idea of what's coming up. Or you can go to On Demand. If you click On Demand right here, these webinars are recorded, and this is where the recordings go. So if you've missed us the last couple weeks here, you can go back, you know, again, go to On Demand, and you can find me right here, John Skelton with Apex Investing. And this is where you can go. It's just a library wealth of information in here. And you know, you can get all kind of great information here, from everything from the basics to different strategies and so on. All right, so if anything today is kind of over your head, or this is one of your first webinars and you want to do some catch up, that's where you want to go and check that out. Okay, and this is where our current webinar we're on right now, where the recording will be placed. All right, so just a wealth of information in here. Make sure to take advantage of it. Here under trading platforms, I want to bring your attention right here, demo trading platform. Nadex will give you a free $25,000 demo practice account. Just takes you a quick second to fill out this information, select a username, and hit open my practice account. All right, as soon as you do that, in just a few moments, you'll get an email from Nadex with a temporary password. You can log right into a demo platform. Demo platform is a great place to get familiar with Nadex, get familiar with, the different binaries and spreads they offer, the different expirations they offer, how to open up tickets, how to enter and exit orders. Just get a good feel of it with a practice account, all right, so that you're prepared when you go in and start using your live money. Also, if you're going through some of these webinars or these webinar recordings and you're learning some of these new strategies I'm teaching you, this is a great place to check those out. Test out any new strategy. Test it out in your demo account. Practice it in your demo account. Work out all the kinks. Make mistakes in your demo account. Work out the kinks, master it, be profitable in your demo account before you move over to live. It's a vital tool. Okay, I've been trading Nadex for almost 6 years now. I still utilize a demo account almost every day. Okay, because as I'm doing my live trading, I've also got a demo account up at times where I'm taking, test trades for new systems or trying this out, or hey, I usually trade this with an at the money binary. What if I traded it with an out of the money binary? How will it work? I'm always utilizing that demo account. If you don't have one of these, hop on right now and get one. It's a great tool. As soon as you log in for the first time, you can go right up here to my account, and then you go right here to settings, and you go right here to password. It'll let you change that temporary password they send you to whatever permanent password you would like. Okay, so it's a great tool. Take advantage of it. Utilize all this. Nadex, like I said, does a great job of giving you a lot of free tools. I mean, within the platform here, you've got charts and indicators and binary ladder charts, all kind of great tools that you can use. Tons of great education and information. That's what they have us here for. Okay, like I said, my name's John Skelton. I'm with Apex Investing. Nadex has us on here as an educator to do these webinars for you, just to let you know and help you understand who and what is Nadex, how do the products work, how are some ways you can utilize them, for us to share with you how we trade them, and just to help give you some ideas. But Apex, we're an online education company. We've got over 25,000 members now. We've got live trade rooms and indicators and strategies and step-by-step training courses. But we're traders just like you. Okay, and that's what we are here for, and that's what we do. I've been with Apex now myself for about 5 years as head of operations. I've got a background in the banking industry and as a licensed stockbroker. And again, I'm just a trader just like you. So we're here just to kind of share with you who and what is Nadex, how do we trade it, and today what we're going to talk about is, just based on our experience of trading it and helping literally thousands of other people that have traded Nadex, is we want to talk a little bit about, who is Nadex and top mistakes of Nadex traders. All right, because I think this is very important for you to understand. Like I said, you've got a good handle now if you've been with us recently. But let's talk about some of the top mistakes. Okay, let's see here. Irene, I'm not sure why you would have had that issue. Tell you what, if you hop on over to the site, use the live chat button there, and we can get somebody to help you out. Okay. Okay, so let's talk a little about who is Nadex. All right, so I've already taken you to the main Nadex website, and you should already be familiar with Nadex in general. And what are some positives about Nadex here? Okay, let's talk a little bit about Nadex and what is some of the benefits and the draw, what draws people to Nadex. All right, the power of Nadex is a couple of things. I mean, let's pull the demo account back up here. Okay, and let's just say that I wanted to trade the euro dollar. Okay, so I can pull up the euro dollar here. I can look at some binaries, for example, that expire at 3 p.m. Well, a couple of amazing things about Nadex. One of the first things that draws people to Nadex is you can open up an account for very little, right? You're not necessarily having to put up thousands upon thousands of dollars to trade some of these big markets, whether it's forex or whether it's oil or gold or some of the indices. And you don't have these super high margins like you have with futures or forex. Okay, you don't have that with Nadex. With Nadex, the only amount of money you put up out of your account is what it costs you to get into the trade. And that's your maximum risk, okay? And up front ahead of time what your maximum capped risk is with Nadex. For example, if I was to open this order ticket for this particular binary contract right here, and I said, hey, I want to buy this, okay? If I want to buy this contract, it shows me right here, my maximum loss is $25.25. My maximum profit is this. No matter what, I cannot lose more on this trade than what I put up, okay? If I buy it for $25.25, that is the most I can risk. I know upfront ahead of time my exact maximum capped risk, okay? If I'm trading, on the spot markets or futures markets, I can go in on a platform and set up, well, get me out of this, but the market can shoot past that, right? Markets shoot past things all the time. There's big whipsaws, there's big, crazy days where the market can shoot through things. And, we talked about disclosure. We went through our disclosures earlier. And if you ever looked at trading like straight futures or spot forex, what is something that's always talked about in that disclosure? Trading involves risk. You could lose all your money. You could lose more than what's in your account, right? You can get into a trade in that account, the market, whips, and all your money in that account's gone, and you owe the broker money, right? That's something you will never ever see in a Nadex disclosure, because you cannot lose more than what's in your account. You cannot lose more than what you put up on that actual trade that's listed right there. Okay, that is powerful. Capped risk, being able to trade some of these huge markets, some overseas indices, the US indices, forex, you go here to commodities, you can trade, copper, corn, oil, gold, natural gas, soybean with limited capped risk. Okay, that is huge. Not only can you open an account for just a few $100, not only can you enter into some of these bigger markets with limited capped risk, but even for very small amounts. Okay, that's huge. That is the, one of the biggest draws to Nadex. I know it was for me, and I know it still is. Okay, sure, I trade some futures and some forex spot stuff, but Nadex is still my favorite way to trade because I have limited, capped, defined risk that I know up front. You can't beat that, especially in a volatile market environment. You want to talk about, having your heartbeat not go too crazy, right? Up front that you cannot lose more than that, no matter what. Okay, and that's huge. All right, big old flash crashes, you're not worried about that. You're not sweating that. All right. Now, what are some other things that are very, very attractive about Nadex? Well, if you're a new trader, the attraction to Nadex is it's kind of for the everyday person. Hey, maybe I don't have 5, 10, 20 grand to go put into some big other trading account, right? Maybe I've only got a smaller amount to start with. Well, it's kind of for the everyday person, and it's a great place to get started, great place to get going, and a smaller account with limited known capped risk. Okay. What is another big positive about Nadex? Well, let's go back over here. I used an example a second ago about forex. Let's just say I want to trade euro dollar. What do I have available to me right now? Well, under binaries, I have binaries that opened up at 12 p.m. and they expire at 2 p.m. Then I have some other ones that just opened at 1 p.m. and they expire at 3 p.m. What do you think will happen at 2 p.m.? There'll be a new one that's 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., right? I've got all these different options and more coming out. I also, in addition right now, have some dailies that expire tonight or this afternoon at 3 p.m. Some more that expire tonight at 7 p.m. Some more that expire tonight at 11 p.m. I've got some that expire in the middle of the night at 3 a.m., tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., and tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Plus, I'm going to have these new hourly, intradays that come out. I've got a ton of different options to trade. I also have some weeklies that expire Friday afternoon, right? And inside of each one of those, if I click one, I've got all these different strike prices to choose from at all these different prices here. If I go to the dailies that expire tonight at 11 p.m., I've got all these different strike prices to choose from at these different prices. I have a ton of options, right? I mean, if you ever stopped and really thought about that, like just one single market, look at all your different options all the way out through tomorrow afternoon, okay? So I've got a ton of different strikes. I've got a ton of different expirations. I've got strike ladders with, different gaps between the strikes. Whatever time of day I'm trading, whatever time of night I'm trading, whatever strategy or system I'm trading, I've probably got tons of different options with the Nadex platform, right? Because of all these expirations. Everybody see that? Have you ever really thought about that? Like right now, if we added up the 2 p.m.s and how many there were available, the 3 p.m.s and then how many completely different strikes there were available, the 3 a.m.s and all these different ones available. Hundreds, guys. Like, can you think, if you ever really realize that, whether you're a short-term trader or a longer-term trader, you've got a ton of options there, right? And we haven't even talked about down here 5-minute binaries on the euro dollar and multiple other pairs. Every 5 minutes, there's a new 5-minute binary coming out, 23 hours a day. Okay, in addition to all those we just looked at. Does that make sense? Like every 5 minutes. In addition to that, I'm just talking about binaries. Now let's hop over to forex spreads and pull up the euro dollar. And what do I have there? Same kind of situation. I've got spreads from 12 to 2, 1 to 3, 7 to 3, and the dailies. And inside of all that, I've got multiples to choose from with different floors and ceilings, different lists, different expirations. I am overloaded with options with Nadex. So you want to talk about a just positive package all around. I've got binaries, I've got spreads, I've got short-term, mid-term, long-term, different strikes, different ranges, different prices. I've got so many options at my disposal, and all of them are upfront known capped risk. And I can get into some of these major world markets with not that much to put up. Like, that's the power of Nadex. Everybody get that concept? Can pretty much everyone on this webinar say, hey, one of those things you just listed was the reason I signed up with Nadex, was the reason I got interested in Nadex? Who can say that? Show of hands. Like, was it because of the lower amounts to open account? Or was it because of the lower risk, the upfront capped risk? Show of hands, just type in and tell me. Give me some ideas of what of those things attracted you to Nadex. Yeah, exactly. Smaller accounts, upfront risk, exactly. Okay. And again, in addition to all the lower risk, the one thing I love about Nadex is kind of just what I went through there. All of the different options available. So if I'm trading a trend strategy, a scalping strategy, a range-bound strategy, a chop day strategy, whatever it is, I've got options. I've got different expirations, different strikes. I've got so many things to choose from with Nadex. It's literally unbelievable. Okay, so that's the positives with Nadex. Now, that's the power of Nadex. What are the downfalls? Okay, and notice I didn't say what are the downfalls of Nadex. Read the top. The downfall misconceptions of Nadex. Okay, this is where you have to be careful with your own head and your own mentality, your own psychology, and your own excitement. Just like a lot of things in life, you can turn a positive into a negative, right? What about the old saying, you gave an inch, they took a mile, right? Or somebody that, abuses something, okay? That is one of the big dangers that you have to protect your mentality against with Nadex, okay? Because you think it's different. I just went through a whole spiel and told you how Nadex is different, right? Hey, instead of spot forex and I have to put up thousands of dollars perhaps, or these big, futures contracts, and I have to, put up, all this margin or whatever it may be, right? Okay, well, hey, I only have to, Nadex is very different. I can open an account with just a few $100. I can get into some of these live markets for just a little bit. So it's so different. It's different from, it's only different from the aspects of size, ease, and capped risk, okay? It's not different how you trade. You are still trading, okay? People get this mentality that, well, since it's capped risk, since it's such a small amount I'm risking, I don't need to worry about good risk management. I hear all these professional traders that trade all this complex, big, high-tech stuff, talking about risk management and mentality and psychology and how much they can risk per trade. You know what? They're risking thousands of dollars. I don't have to worry about all that crap. I don't need good risk management because I have this Nadex thing. Wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. You are misusing and abusing the power of Nadex. That limited capped risk is there as a positive for you, as a strength for you. And you're taking that strength and turning it into a weakness. Okay? You still have to have good risk management. All right? You can't just, oh, it's only 25 bucks. Let me just press the button, see what happens. No, you're gambling. You're not trading. Well, it'll either expire worth 0 or 100. It's such a small amount, no big deal, okay? Remember how I said up here, one of the powers of Nadex is, hey, with some of the lower account, requirements and a limited risk, kind of for the everyday person to get started in, okay? Well, it's for the everyday person, so I'm going to trade like the everyday person and not trade like a trader. The rules are different because Nadex is different. And Nadex has this capped risk, and Nadex has all these expirations, so it's different. Okay? That is not at all the proper way to trade. Chris says, do you conduct any live webinars which cover different strategies and how to utilize indicators and charts? Yeah, Chris, we actually did one of those last week talking about how to trade at key levels. Okay? And talked about chop levels and some volume indicators. If you missed it, it's on the recording area there, okay? But does that make sense? Can you guys see how that would be an easy trap to fall into? Because where you think, man, I've heard about trading and I need to learn so much, but man, I can just go right in here and just say, I think it's going up. Let me risk 12 bucks. Why not? Come on, be honest. Show of hands. Any of you did that when you first started with Nadex, or you first got an account or a demo account? Like, I didn't really look at charts and indicators. I didn't really follow a system. I just kind of like, well, you know, it's not that much to risk. I mean, come on. I can risk 12 bucks. You know, I mean, I can go in here and risk 12 bucks. That's not a big deal. And hey, if I'm right, I'll make 87. I like those odds. Sure, why not? Okay. Some of you say, yeah, I've done it. I'm still doing it. How's it working out for you? Probably not too great, right? And what you have to do is realize that you are taking a positive and turning it into a negative, okay? Instead of realizing, hey, just because I've got this limited capped risk, that's awesome. I have an edge over what a lot of these other traders have. So instead of me taking that edge and making it my downfall, just randomly slapping trades out there, why don't I take that edge and add to it, hey, I still need good risk management. I still need to learn a good strategy and system. I still need to trade properly. I'm still trading. Trading is all about stacking the odds in your favor and giving yourself an edge. You have a huge, amazing edge with Nadex. Don't go turn it upside down. Okay? The rules still apply. You still have to have the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s of a strategy and system. You still have to follow a system. You still have to learn to trade. You still need to learn how to read the markets and learn how to use systems and charts and indicators and learn how volume affects. You still need to learn all these things. Don't look at Nadex as a shortcut to get you past, oh, hey, now I don't have to learn all that crap. I don't have to invest time in myself. I don't have to educate myself. I don't have to learn the markets. You know, I can just hop in there and go for it. Trust me, it's not going to work out for you that way. Okay? You are misusing the power of Nadex. Okay? The rules are not different. And many of you, because I did it too, you've watched these get-rich-quick videos online or these YouTube videos about binaries and just press buttons and you make all this money every few minutes and thinking, hey, this is a total different thing. It's totally different from normal trading. I just go in and I press these buttons and I just magically make money. Come on. I think you're all smarter than that, right? Do you really believe that? We all want to, but do you really believe that's how it works? I just press buy and it just happens to go up and I make all this money in just a few minutes. Guys, come on. You know the people that fall for those videos and for that pitch, right? You have to utilize Nadex binaries or Nadex spreads as a trading instrument, just like if you were trading a stock or live futures or spot forex. You still have to wait for the right setups. You still have to learn a system. You have to have a point of entry. You have to enter for a reason, not just because, well, there's an expiration. This is one of the biggest issues right here. Right here. Let me see if I can express this properly to you. Your biggest enemy in trading, you ever heard about how trading is a battle between the bulls and the bears, right? It's a battle between the buyers and the sellers. No, trading is a battle of you against yourself and your psychology, your mentality, your greed, and your fear, okay? What happens when you're on the Nadex platform, you're spending time trading, especially if you're a part-time trader, right? Because, you know, you have a regular job, you know, your day job that you're at 8 hours a day. And then when you're home in the evenings or you're taking a break during the day, you know, you can't trade all day. You've got limited time to trade, okay? And that time you're taking out to trade, you're taking out time from your life and from your spouse and from your family, right? So when you sit down to trade, you want to make the most of that time, right? Like you want to get as much done as you can in a short amount of time, because you don't have a lot of time, and you're in here and maybe it's during the day and you're looking at one of these 20-minute binaries and you're looking at, oh no, okay, big, huge right here. Like whatever you're doing, stop. What is this right here saying? This is the contract. It expires at 1:40. How much time is left to expiration? 9 minutes and 43 seconds. Okay, well, why is it telling me how much time I have to expiration? Okay, if I'm trading properly, I'm looking at my chart, my system, and I'm like, okay, looks like I'm about to have a setup. What are my different options? I've got the 20-minute binaries, I've got the hourly, the day. Okay, how much time is left? 9 minutes. Okay, well, do I really think that my entry is gonna move far enough in the next 9 minutes? Like as soon as my entry is ready, do I think the market's going to move far enough in the next 9 minutes? Yeah, I think so, because this particular strategy or system moves really fast. Okay, cool, right? Or, well, I'm not sure if 8 minutes and 43 seconds is quite enough, because with this particular strategy, it's more of a longer term strategy to let the market move and work its way down. So I probably don't want to go with that one. I probably want to look at, something a little further out, and, yeah, hour and a half, that's probably more what properly fits this strategy. Okay? That little analogy there makes sense? I'm using this as a tool, as a filter, right, to help me figure out which one of all these different options available is going to be best for my strategy. How much time is left to expiration? What are all the different strike prices I can choose from at all the different price? Let me find the best one for my strategy. Let me find the best strike to fit, onto the chart, right, where I think my best odds would be. Let me find, the proper buy or sell amount to keep me at my risk management and risk to reward level I want to be. And let me use this right here as a tool to say an hour and 27 minutes left, or let's see here, 7 minutes left. No, that other option was best. These are tools and filters for me to find the best option for my strategy, to put all the odds in my favor. These are meant to help me. Does that make sense? Does everybody get that? That's meant to help me choose the best thing, to stack the odds in my favor. Right? Makes perfect sense? Okay, let's stop for a minute. If you mentally don't trade that way, don't think that way, and you let your greed or your emotion take over, what do you see right here? You see a countdown clock. You see, what do you see on TV? We're having a big sale, there's only 36 hours left and the clock's counting down. You better hurry, get out here now. That's what you're seeing. And what are you seeing? Oh my gosh, I'm a part-time trader, I have a full-time job, I'm taking away time from my family, I'm sitting in front of the computer right now, I'm trying to trade something, I gotta trade something, I need a trade, I have to trade. Man, I've only got 5 minutes left and this binary is gonna expire. I'll never have access to this binary again. I have to trade it somehow. It's about to expire, so I've got to find a way to trade it, or else I'm going to miss out on an opportunity. Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference there? Nadex gives you all these different expiration times, all these different options, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, daily, weekly. They're options that are a positive for you to find the best one. They're not countdown clocks that, oh my gosh, there's an expiration, so therefore I have to trade. Because it's there, I have to do it. That is one of the biggest downfalls of new Nadex traders. Because there's an expiration coming up, and oh my God, that clock's counting down. I gotta find something. So I'm just gonna randomly take some trade. Or my system's about to set up for a trade, but I've only got like 3 out of the 5 things lining up for my entry according to the rules, but I'm just going to take it anyway and hope it works out, because otherwise I'm going to miss out. I've only got 4 minutes and 22 seconds or 21 seconds or 20. Oh my God, I got to enter. That is not right. Can you see how that's not right? Can you see how you are taking a super great positive aspect of Nadex and you are just using it the wrong way? Just because an option is expiring does not mean you have to trade it. Okay? You cannot look at it like that. These are just options, and it's giving you a lot of options. Your job as a trader is to find the best option to stack the odds in your favor, give yourself the edge that best fits your strategy and system. Do not get caught up in, well, binary trading's different because there's expirations every hour. We trade every hour. We trade every 20 minutes. We trade every 5 minutes. No, the market doesn't work that way. Do you think, well, the markets have always worked a certain way for all these years, but now there's this new thing, you know, that I heard about years ago called, or that I just found out about, called binaries that expire every hour or 5 minutes or 20 minutes. So now the market's just going to change everything around about it. The whole world markets are going to change to give me a trade setup every 5 minutes and every 20 minutes and every hour. The markets are going to work around Nadex expirations. Come on. You're smarter than that, right? Does that make sense? Just because a binary is expiring does not mean you have to trade it. Don't get caught up in that. Don't get caught up in the whole world of, I gotta find a trade every hour. You're gonna push a trade and go for something that's not there. You're trading emotionally. Do what the market's telling you to do what your chart is telling you to do what your strategy or system is telling you to do, and find the best option available to you that stacks the odds in your favor. All these tons of expirations are a positive. They work in your favor when you use them properly. They work against you when you look at them as a deadline to force and find a trade. Does that make sense? Does that any kind of light bulb go off for anybody? Like, oh, right, I do that. Or, oh, right, I could see how I could fall into that trap. Yes, no? Because I know it's a huge one for a lot of people, especially a lot of new traders. So make sure not to fall into that trap. Okay, you have to trade just like you would trade any other times. You don't have to trade just because there's an expiration. You don't have to be busy and press buttons. You don't have to force or make something to happen and find a trade. You're just going to be spinning your wheels all day. You're right. You'll be positive on some, you'll be negative on some, then you'll be negative on a lot, and then end of the day, you're down. And you just wasted time instead of trading properly, instead of learning patience, learning how to trade properly, learning how to read the markets, and have different approaches in your toolbox, have multiple plays in your playbook, know how to trade a range-bound day, know how to trade a trending day, have good risk management. Just because, well, I'm only risking 20 or 30 bucks. Okay, well, what percentage of your entire account is that 20 or 30 bucks, right? Are you over trading? Are you over risking? Should you always hold until expiration? You need to go through and take advantage of all the education and webinars that Nadex offers. Learn these different strategies and systems. Learn these do's and don'ts. Have patience, really know your system, and rewatch some of these recordings and videos. Practice in your demo account. Another big thing there. Well, I'm only risking 15, 20 bucks here and there. I'm just going to go live. Why mess with that demo account? I mean, it's not like a lot of money. Yeah, well, $15, $20 risk over and over again while you're playing, practicing, that adds up. Do it right. Do it properly. Learn these systems. Okay, guys. I hope that helped. I hope that gives you a little bit of direction there of what to do and what not to do and how to set your mentality to look properly at the powerful positives of Nadex and not let your own emotions turn those positives into a negative. All right? Make sure to hop on to nadex.com, get signed up for some of the upcoming webinars. Also, hop over and visit us at apexinvesting.com. We've got a ton of free education, some free step-by-step training courses on binaries and spreads. Got a bunch of different strategies and systems over there, news calendars, Nadex binary and spread scanners help you easily find, you know, the best binaries for your strategy or spreads for your strategy. We'll show you how to get some free charting platforms and data feeds, free deviation level indicators. Anyway, tons of stuff over there. Feel free to visit us over there, ask us any questions, get signed up for the next upcoming webinar. Hope you have a great end of your week and weekend, and we will see you on the next webinar, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great one.